Hello everyone, how you doing? So today we got three deities to talk about, these three being Rangda, Bumba and Lono. Now you might ask why these three exactly, since they are not well known at all, and the main reason for that is that all three get mentioned by name in the game Smite, which I sometimes use to draw inspiration from. So I thought, why not? Let's start with Rangda. Rangda is the queen of the demon race called Leak, which exists within the Balinese mythology, and is said to be the incarnation of a powerful witch called Kalon Arang, who was practicing dark and forbidden magic and supposedly lived in the 10th century BC in Bali in Indonesia. Her name being Old Javanese and translating into widow, Rangda is basically the main evil force within the Balinese mythology, eating children and fighting against the leader of the forces of good named Barong. Now, funnily enough, even though she is mainly a force of evil, she is still considered to be a protective kind of force. I have trouble explaining how a child-eating witch demon queen can be considered a protective force in any way, but here we are. She has also been compared with Kali within the Hinduist mythology, who also takes both the roles of destruction and protection. There are also some similarities in the colors that are identified with these two. And yeah, that's basically it about Rangda. Let's move on to Bumba. Now, there is considerably less to say about Bumba, other than he is basically the divine creator god of the Cuba people. Attention, the Cuba people are not the people living on the island of Cuba in Middle America, but rather the people that belong to the Cuban kingdom, which flourished in South Africa between the 17th and 19th century. So according to the Cuban myth, Bumba was a white giant who created the universe by vomiting out the sun and the planets, as well as 9 animals, from which every other animal later came from. He also had 4 children that later wanted to continue his work, and one of them, his only daughter Tsetse Bumba, wanting to ruin it. But that's enough of that. Let's move on to the last of the 3 gods, Lono. Not entirely different from Bumba, Lono was one of the 4 gods in Hawaiian religion that lived before the creation of the universe. Now, there's not that much known about Lono. He is the god of rain, agriculture and fertility, and also a god of peace. Which means he is or was incredibly important to the Hawaiian people. They even had a great annual festival, the Makahiki, to honor him. Now, in the Hawaiian religion, it is important to note that every period of the year, possibly due to the 4 creator gods existing before the universe, and every month had strict regulations. In the months of Lono, which means from October to February, it was strictly forbidden to go to war or do any unnecessary work. Doing so could lead to a confiscation of property or even death in some cases. For the longest time it was thought that the Hawaiians at one point confused the British explorer James Cook with the god Lono, which indirectly led to his death. But after a bit of research it turns out that the story was most likely fabricated and they never confused him for the incarnation of the god, but killed him nonetheless. So anyway, that has been all there is to say about these 3 gods, Rangda, Bumba and Lono. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. May the gods be with you, and I see you next time. Goodbye.